Boom, 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 boom. Hello and welcome back. If you're new to the channel and you want to not only perplex up your Heroclix IQ, but outwit the competition, make sure to Hulk smash that subscribe button and also the little bell notification so that you're sure to not miss anything. So welcome back to another Heroclix live stream. We have a bunch of fun stuff to talk about. Some things that I didn't think we were going to be discussing, although I had hoped we would be. And then another thing that I've been teasing out there, which is, why Heroclix doesn't grow, or, in a certain manner of thinking, why Heroclix sucks. So we're going to go ahead and take some time, let some people go ahead and get in the chat room, start watching here. Let's pop this live chat out here so I can see it. And that's it. Just in general, we're here to have fun. We're going to be talking, like I said, about, hey, how's it going there, JD Clicks? But anyway, also just if you're new to these live streams, because of my internet speed and stuff, there's a slight delay between what you type and when I might be able to give an auditory response. So just bear with me. We'll take care of it as best we can. But today we're going to be talking about the brand new ROC webpage. We're going to be taking a look at it. So I'm doing a little bit of an experiment on how to screen share. So that's going to be a thing. And then we are going to be doing a little bit of WizKids bashing. But WizKids bashing in the best way possible. I'm not, they don't actually suck. They're trying hard. It's my understanding that there's not a ton of people that work there. So, we can't beat them up too bad, but we can hold them a little bit accountable. So, how's everybody's evening going today? This is the last day of January 2018. So, anybody have anything interesting going on, or just hanging out? Alright, so it looks like we got a couple people. We're just going to go ahead and get this thing started. So like I said, we're going to be trying something brand new here. We are going to be trying to screen share what's going on. So let's go ahead and flip. Yay, we can hear me. Okay, so if I'm really sorry about that, guys. This is the first time I've tried doing the screen share. So we'll get that all straightened out. We'll keep the live chat here so that if this messes up. Anyway, the Howard Brock thing is right here. If you guys want to see it and read it. I did in fact read it to you, which is why we were on that page for so long. But it's there. It's a nice little write-up. So the next thing, sadly, yes, I know. So the next thing we're going to look at is events. He said this was going to be updated, but basically it is a spreadsheet. So it's right here. Looks like there's quite a few things scheduled already. Said he was going to have this updated, though. So we'll see what it looks like later. It's going to be interesting. He seems like he's really trying hard with this, which makes a lot of sense. So this is the ROC Online tab. And this is where you can purchase your tournament entry. They have a Discord channel. I know nothing about Discord. Like, it's confuses me. But I'm going to try to learn more about it because I've had more than one person ask me if I have a Discord server. So we will work on that. And then this is your create Roll20 account. It's literally free. And then here it explains what you have to do to enter the tournaments, which is good. I was told, because I asked some questions about this, because some of us were told it was live beforehand so we could peruse and give some input, that it's going to be about 2 weeks before the first online tournament. So I'm really excited about those. I think that's going to blow up and be a big deal. So then we have this host a ROC event. Then they have their different things here and their different prices. And they're all pretty reasonable considering what you get. I'm still working. I know I said a while ago I'd like to host one. I'm still working with that. The trouble is that I want to do it without a store sponsorship. So the price of renting somewhere is kind of driving it up a little bit. I have a smaller venue that I can rent for probably a Winamap or maybe a qualifier, but not really more than that because parking is going to end up being an issue. So I'm going to have to see what I can do because this is all going to be coming out of my own pocket. So then we have the ROC rules here, which are just an online document right there. Let's get rid of that. Then we have news, which is where we were at for Howard's article, which was a good little article there. Forums. Now this was really cool. So you created an account for free, and you just saw me click through it, where all you need is sort of like signing up for HC Realms. This is not HC Realms though. This is a different thing. So you do have to sign up for it separately from HC Realms. But so here we have the forums rules policy, general discussion, metagame. There's already a couple posts here. General discussion, couple posts there, and then each podcast. They call everybody a podcast. Each podcast has their own place in the forum, which is really cool. So you see mine. I just made one post about having a live stream tonight. Looks like Clicks Off made a post. Nerd Thug Radio. So this is really going to be a cool place to come. I think it's going to be a big deal. I hope it's a big deal. Howard's a good dude. So all kinds of stuff to look at there. There's Messenger and stuff like that in there too. Let me see here. What else do we have here? Can everybody still hear me all right? If you can hear me, just go ahead and put the number 2 in there for the deuces. If you can hear me. Then we have the podcasts, which is right here. And we have just a few people listed right now, more people to be listed. If anybody that has a podcast or a YouTube channel that's not on here already wants to get one, send me an email, a message. I'll tell you what you have to do this. It was super easy. Howard's easy to work with. So we got Clickstoff, Married with Clicks, myself, Nerd Thug Radio, Starting Over Podcast. He has a criminally low subscriber rate. Tabletop Teacher, and 2 Clicks from KO. Then we each put a little blurb in here about our channels and stuff. And then when you click on any of the channels, it takes you to their YouTube page. So pretty cool there. Then we have the store. And so here you can buy the monthly maps or stuff like that. Not all this stuff isn't up and running quite yet, but this is where you'll get that stuff. Let's go ahead and keep some of these closed down here. Then we have the rankings, which is coming soon, under construction. So we got the wrecker there, and then we have the toolbox, which is the unit section for ROC rules, build sheets. Pertinent things from WizKids like erratas, legal maps, the win, print and play rules, stuff like that. So that is the basic breakdown of the ROC webpage. Like I said, really cool webpage. Looks like he worked hard on it. I noticed a couple typos when I was reading the initial article that I was reading that nobody could hear. But anyway, we got a little divergence here. Alright. Alrighty. So, 2 Clicks. 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 2 Everybody should be looking at me now on this thing. And let me get another thing put up here. All right, now I can see everything. All right. So now we're going to talk about what I'm sure everybody here is for. Things that WizKids does not do as good as they could. You know, there's just some things I want to talk good about them. It's a really fun game. They seem like they do care about some things and not about other things. And so right now, really what we're going to take a look at is why the game doesn't grow and what they could do to help that. Because right now, there's, you know, they tried hard with the revamping of the rules. And I think that was a good thing. There were just too many corner cases to where like nothing meant actually what it said. And you had to, you know, do a deep dive for like 2 years to be able to be any type of good at this. So redoing the rules in 2017 was fabulous. That's going to help so much. I think having the dials on the back of the cards was a fabulous idea. I know a lot of people seemed pretty hurt about it at the beginning, but I think most of us are pretty much over that at this point. And so we're going to talk about some things that they could do better to try to expand the game, because right now nobody knows about this game. Like, how do you have a game that has Marvel and DC properties? Like, you got Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, and Wolverine all in a game that nobody plays. Does anybody know what the how many people actually play Heroclix? I remember a while ago there was a thing on HC Realms where, you know, we were trying to figure out how many people actually play Heroclix, and it was like, it can't be more than 20,000 people, which is silly. Like, there needs to be more people than that. I'd be curious if somebody from WizKids happens to, for whatever reason, see this live stream and wants to send me a message. I'd be curious to know unique win people, like unique win users. Because the ROC isn't, or I'm sorry, not the ROC. HC Realms isn't anything official. That says they have like 6,000 unique people. So, you know, I think it's got to be more than that. But I'd say probably 20,000 people, because you figure a lot of them aren't going to bother registering for stuff like that. So the biggest thing that they need to do to actually make the game better is advertise. Like, they do no advertising in the store. Like, the last advertising I saw was for what was it? The Avengers ID cards when they first came out. They had that big thing with no explanation, basically, where you could get your picture taken like it was on an Avengers ID. Like, every time I pick up a comic book, you know, something like this, there should be somewhere in that comic book an advertisement for Heroclix. This is your built-in audience. Like, people that buy these are going to buy Heroclix. Now, I don't know how, you know, Marvel or DC marketing works. Like, if you have to buy advertisements in every single comic, or if you could just say, you know, I'm going to advertise in the top 3 books from both companies, and that's it. I mean, that'd make a lot of money, a lot of sense for the money. But they simply don't do it. Like, there's none of that. They used to have posters with the Heroclix sets in them. They don't do that stuff anymore. And you know, they don't even have to send it out ahead of time. Just in the box with the OP kits and stuff, you know, with the maps, have a folded up thing with all the figures from that set. You know, you don't have to spoil anything. You don't got to put it out ahead of time. Just from that set, so the store has something to hang out, so that people know about the game, because nobody knows about this. The next thing we're going to look at is, and some of you might get a little bored with this, but if you notice with my page for Well, I picked up in July again, but for about a year there, maybe year and a half, my channel was basically dead. All I did was an unboxing occasionally, and that was it. And I was doing that because I was learning about things like search engine optimization, uh, videography, and filmography. Although I'm still, it's difficult enough to learn, but it's even harder to put into practice. So I've been working on putting that into practice. I think my last couple videos turned out really well, so I'm liking the direction that I'm heading as far as that. But the big thing is that their SEO, when you look at the like the WizKids YouTube page, and there's some different plugins you can get for Google Chrome where you can see what the tags and keywords that everybody else is using for their videos. Like all they have is like Heroclix, and then if Scott Porter does one, they'll have his name, and then whatever the set name is, and that's it. And that's all fine and dandy for the base, like us Heroclix players, we already know what we're looking for. So we're going to do one of those 3 tags, which is fine. But if you want to expand, you gotta try to rank for, like, instead of ranking for X-Men Xavier School Heroclix set, try ranking for X-Men. Like there's ways to leverage your SEO where if you just go to YouTube, I don't want to mess with my computing power right now, but if you go to YouTube and you just type in the generic keyword X-Men, and then you go to the first 1 or 2 videos, and you click in that, and you look at all the suggesteds, and you look at the whichever suggested video has the least amount of views. And if you can get 5 to 10% of those views in the first 2 weeks of that video being uploaded on YouTube, you actually start getting suggested in that video. And they don't even try. I don't know why. They don't put superhero miniatures. They don't put minifigures. They don't put mini superheroes. Like there are keywords with millions and millions of searches every day. The searches for Heroclix is 21,000 per day on YouTube, which is the second biggest search engine on the face of the earth. So, and that's how I got the idea that maybe there's around 20,000 Heroclix players. I don't know that for sure. I'm just trying to throw something out there that sounded reasonable. So you need to expand it. You need to talk to the marketing person and try to get them to rank for toys or miniatures or action figures. Like how many action figure videos, unboxings and stuff like that are on YouTube with 5-6 million views. The most viewed Heroclix video only has, I think, 350,000 views. It's ridiculous. It should be better than that. I don't know if their marketing person is asleep at the helm or if they just don't know. I'm not an expert at it, but I can at least steer some people in directions if they want to know about it. And we probably lost pretty much everybody with me going on that little tirade. But so the next thing we're going to talk about is booster price. This set, it's supposed to be like the regular $12 we've been paying for a little bit. But then with Avengers Infinity, it's supposed to go up to like $13.50, my store told me, which is ridiculous. Like, it's not their fault, first of all. It's not your local, not their fault. Don't blame them. Pay the price, support your venue. But the booster price is ridiculous when you consider things like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's say the pack's expensive and you're paying $5 for, anywhere between 10 and 15 cards. I can get 3 packs of Magic that have a several million person player base that don't always hold their value great, but they tend to do better than Heroclix. Or I can buy 1 booster Heroclix. And it's just, I don't know. They need to do something about it. I think if they could get the booster price to like $6 or $8, and I know to do that, like, margins and stuff like that, they're probably going to have to cut the number of figures you get either down to 4 like it used to be, because it used to be, I think it was $8 a booster and you got 4 figures. So I'd be fine with that. Or if they could get it down to $6 and give me 3 figures, that'd be nice. I know that, it would be it'd be cutting into their margin just a teeny bit, but I don't think enough to ultimately make a difference. But I think if they could get it to $6, a lot more people could justify that initial purchase, because if I can walk in, if I'm walking in, if I'm average Joe living my average life, going to your average comic book shop off the street, and I walk in and I say to the clerk, hey Timmy, clerk Timmy, sell me on a collectible game. What do you got here? Okay, well we got Pokemon over here for that's pretty popular. They got $3.50 a booster. We have a specialty set of Magic that's $5 a booster. We got Yu-Gi-Oh! That's $3 a booster. Force of Will that's $3 a booster. We got these things called Heroclix that are $15 a booster blind. We got these X-Wing things that are not blind but just as cool for $14, $15. What do you want? If it's their first purchase ever, they're gonna go with they're gonna try to not get their feet super wet. They're gonna go for. I feel like people, if you can get them to spend less than $10, they'll put it out there. So they're going to go for, that $3 or $5 purchase, but not necessarily that $12 or $13. And I think that's a big hurdle for us right now, is that it's just, it's too expensive to get people into, let alone the storage space. That's a whole new thing. I don't understand why WizKids doesn't make their own at least way to take one team with you somewhere. Like they need to make a backpack or something, which I'm working on. I'm trying to find a company right now that will help me work up a prototype for a gaming backpack to take to like conventions and stuff, like a tabletop gaming backpack. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know how many. Go ahead and post in the comments or the live stream if you'd be interested in something like that. I don't know. I think that by the time somebody was done, it'd be like $100, $150. But I'm looking at having a lot of nice stuff in there. So let me know if that would interest you as far as that. And the next thing we're going to talk about is lack of holding value. And I kind of alluded to this a little bit in the booster price. Is we're getting ahead of ourselves. Market saturation. Okay, I don't do phenomenally, but I do okay financially with my job and my wife working and stuff like that. I cannot afford to buy all the Heroclix they put out there. I can't afford to collect a whole set, let alone get a whole booster brick or case of every set when it comes out. And I understand, I don't have to, they don't owe me that. But if I'm not able to do that, then maybe there's other people that aren't able to do it either. So I think they need to go back. It used to be that there were 4 Heroclix releases a year. 2 Marvel, 2 DC. That worked out pretty good. I think if they did 2 Marvel, 2 DC, and 1 Gravity feed per year, that would be enough for people to do. And, let's say they upped them to 90 figures a set, 100 figures a set. And then you had 3 months to play with them. I have stuff that I've wanted to play, and I don't have the time anymore to play them. You would have to play pretty much 3 or 4 times a week to be able to get through a set before another set came out. Like to play pretty much every figure like I like to do. So that's just, it's hard to do. There's so many of them out there. So the next thing we're going to talk about, which I kind of skipped ahead, is lack of holding value. And this goes hand in hand with something else that we were talking about, it goes hand in hand with not having a lot of formats, because right now when a Heroclix, your average brick of Heroclix comes out, it's $120. So we'll say initially when it comes out, it holds its value. You unbox it, you get $120 worth of stuff basically, which is it's close. So then as soon as that set retires, it drops. It might be worth a quarter what it was if you're lucky. And that's because they have Modern Age and Golden Age, but there's no official tournaments for Golden Age. It's just a thing for fans, and basically anything that you have after it retires is monetarily worthless. Now, you can still play with them and do stuff like that, but without a healthy secondary market for everything you've ever produced, you're not going to grow as a game. Nobody's going to buy your stuff thinking that, okay, well, I'm going to pay $120 for this case of XYZ set. And then in 2 years, that $120 investment is going to be worth $30 if I sell every super rare from the set also. You see what I'm getting at? It's just, it doesn't make sense. So what they need to do, and if you go and you look at Magic, I don't play Magic. I've never played Magic, but they do some things right, although, it's my understanding that they weren't doing some things right, trying to let some pedophiles be judges. But that's neither here nor there. So it's the lack of sponsored tournaments, although they've been doing better with the WizKids Open, but there's no sponsored tournaments for any old product, and there's no ages format. It's modern age or nothing. It's modern, 300 point modern sealed, or 300 point modern or sealed with whatever the new set is that comes out. And this is a problem. If you want the game to thrive, if you want people to buy your product, buy it sealed, you have to have a way for them to play with that product forever. So what I would suggest is maybe taking 2-year blocks, because that's how long retirement is. So go back to 2003, 2002, 2003. We're going to say 2003 was the first year of Heroclix. So you're going to go back to 2003. You're going to go, okay, any set that came out in 2003, 2004, 2003, 4, and 5. I'm not sure where they came out. That could be 2 years, even though that's 3 things. Is in this block, and you call it Heroclix Rust Age. Okay, and then you have people that just play that. And then you have everything that came out 2006 and 7, and they play there. Because what happens is, if you just have, Heroclix Golden Age, it's whatever the most basically 4 or 5 modern sets are that are going to be what rules the roost for Golden Age forever, and those old clicks still aren't going to get played. So what you have to do is you got to break them up into little bitty chunks where each figure and each age can have its time to shine. So you need to do that every 2-3 years. You need to come up with an age, and you need to have decent prize support. This, I don't think that, the winnables shouldn't be broken, but they should be better than what they are. These last couple weren't that great, although I'm hoping the Lockjaw is good. I'm going to get a Lockjaw no matter what. I love Inhumans, but, so just they need to figure out a way to make it so that those old figures are worth something. Otherwise, why are you buying these? There's no reason to buy them if in 2 years you can't do them. That's just why I, other than unboxings, I basically don't buy sealed stuff. It makes no sense. I just have boxes and boxes of commons that I can't give away. But, maybe if you had a tournament series whatever it's called, Magic, this Pauper League's really getting popular right now, where you say, okay, modern age Pauper, where it can only be common and uncommon figures, and then Rust Age Pauper from 2002, 3, 2, 3, and 4, stuff like that. I think it would help give a lot more value and a lot more longevity to the product that you're putting out there. So I don't know, maybe in the comments, tell me how you would break up the ages, quote unquote, bunny ears, the ages for Heroclix, and in the live stream comments also. Go ahead and put that in there, how you'd break that up, because I think that's an interesting conversation, and I think that, in addition to the advertising and SEO, are the biggest things. And then I would say after that is the booster price market saturation stuff. So I'd say advertising most important. They got to get that thing fixed. Anybody wants to send me a message, I'll do my best to help. I'm not an expert, but so the advertising SEO stuff has to be fixed. And then the figures holding their value, and I understand that, it's not WizKids' responsibility to worry about that, but if they want their game to grow like they should, because right now they're doing okay. They're not making, boatloads. They're not making Magic or Pokemon money, but they could be. They have, their IP list is ridiculous. Like, it boggles my mind how many people don't know about Heroclix, especially with the movies. There is zero superhero games out right now other than Heroclix and Dice Masters, and that's it. There's nothing else out there. And like, if somebody wanted to play a tabletop game, they have no idea what Heroclix is even to look for it. There's no advertising anywhere. You gotta hope a store carries Heroclix. I don't know how many stores actually carry them. Comic book shops. And I'm not saying, put them in Walmart or Toys R Us. I think that would help. But they need their own, they need their own thing. Like, maybe it's, repackaged 2-year-old sets. Just to get it out there. They shouldn't get exclusive, because that's gonna kill your local comic book shop. They need like 2-year-old stuff just to get people's foot through the door, so they know what they're looking for. Because right now nobody knows. I walk across the street, I'd say, "Hey Timmy, you ever heard of Heroclix?" He's just like, What are you trying to sell me? Get out of here, stranger danger." So we got to fix that. They need to put it in comic books. Whoever it is they need to contact at Marvel and DC need to get that straightened out. They need to work on their SEO game. There's tons of places to look it up. If they want help with that, send me an email. And then that's it. They got to have formats for different ages. Otherwise, it's gonna keep floundering. We're gonna have modern age. That's the only thing you ever get prizes for. And the prizes are pretty cool, but they need to come out. There needs to be more like Majestic $1,000 Grand Prix. There needs to be more something like that, whether it's official or ROC, because that's how you're going to get people. And I know that I keep drawing a lot of comparisons to Magic. They got like a bajillion players, so it's hard to compare. But if you're actually looking to compete, like if that's, that should be the goal. That should be where you want to go. You should look up and be like, I want to go be up there. I don't want to be Timmy anymore. I want to be that guy, that wizard on the mountain shooting lightning from his fingertips and all kinds of crazy stuff. You want to be that guy. So if you want to be that guy, you got to look at what they did. Okay. And I'm not going to reverse engineer how, Wizards of the Coast got there. But Heroclix has been around, like this clicking mechanic, since Mage Knight and Heroclix and stuff. It's been around almost as long, like maybe 4 years less, 5 years less, but close. It's been close, guys. So, maybe put in the comments your, like I said, what you think the ages should be, and how you think WizKids could fix Heroclix. Because again, they're doing a good job. I think they realized that something was awry. They're not growing the way that I think they could, unless somebody there has information that I'm not privy to. So just put in the comments what your plan, your marketing strategy for them to grow would be, and we'll see. Maybe we can get some good ideas floated out there for them. So, like I said before, I'm going to I'm gonna have an unboxing for you guys of X-Men Xavier School. It'll be up the day of release, although because of my work schedule it might be later in the day, but it'll be up then. And then I'm still working on something hopefully exciting for the channel if I can get somebody to email me back. And then if you want to support the channel, make sure to check out the links in the description. You got to copy and paste the Spreadshirt store because YouTube doesn't like it when you move away from YouTube. But you can go there, all kinds of different apparel. You can take the designs, put them on basically anything you want. So that's really cool. Also, I'm open to super chats where you just hit the little dollar button. You throw me $1 or $2. I'll give you a shout out or something like that. And there's also Patreon, Still trying to get that off the ground. We got a couple people signed up right now. Thank you as always to Heroclix, who sponsors us on there. He's at that level where we give him shout outs, put him in the videos as a producer. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anything on the comments. All right, guys. Well, doesn't look like we got any more comments here. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.